Hi guys, it's Belle here, and it is time for me to make the next tag in my Wheel of the Year swap with the wonderful Tiff over at Amethyst Raven. Her channel will be linked down below. Do go and check those out. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Tiff and I have been doing this swap, making a tag for each other for the 8 festivals in the Pagan Wheel of the Year. It's our first time doing this. We've been doing it since the first festival, Imbolc, in February. And you will see me make my tag, and then at the end of this video I will open the tag that she has sent to me. Please do go over to her channel so you can see her create that tag for me. So let's get right into it. Oh, and before I forget, there is a playlist so you can check all those out. So our tags are 6 by 3.5. I'm just going to make something simple today, guys, because I had filming issues with the last one and I taught myself a new technique with that one. So I just really want to do something a bit simple today and not to get myself so stressed. So this is the base for the tag, 6 inches by 3.5. Again, if you're new here, Tiff and I are only using what we already have in our craft rooms. So I pulled out some of my autumn papers because the festival that I am going to be talking about today is the Festival of Lughnasadh. Now, this falls on the 1st of August. It's called many names here in Britain. It's lammas, which comes from loafmas. It's the first harvest festival of the season. There are 3, but as I am Irish, and I sort of always follow a more Irish Celtic path, I will be telling you more about Lughnasadh, which is the Irish Gaelic name for this time of year. Now again, it falls on the 1st. And as I've said in a couple, sorry for my super squeaky thing, as I've said in a couple of my other videos, as Irish, we are still very linked to our mythology, our culture and our land. So if you go and look at the months of the year, this is also the same for Tailteann in May, which is May in Ireland. The month of August is called Lughnasadh, and it comes from the god Lugh. Now, Lugh is an interesting character or god in our mythology. He is spoken about a lot. But what is interesting about Lugh is his heritage. He is, so we'll get in, this is a little bit of Celtic mythology, but you had the Tailteann, who are the original kind of gods who landed. They weren't the original peoples of Ireland, but they're the people who, they're the gods who populated the land before, I suppose, people came. You had the Tailteann, and when they arrived in Ireland, the country that was to become known as Ireland, there were already the Imbolcs and the Fomorians. Now, the Tailteann got into conflict with both of these races, but the Fomorians in particular are fierce, almost creature-like. They're often described sometimes as having like one leg and things like that. And it turns out that the leader of the Fomorians, Balor, of the one eye, there was a myth or a prophecy that stated he would be killed by one of his own grandchildren. And so he went out of his way to, I'm wondering if I want that half ripped down maybe. He went out of his way to make sure that his daughter was locked away so that she couldn't give birth. However, one of the Tuatha, one of the kind of, I don't want to say lesser, but they were a lesser. They're not one of the main gods or goddesses or people spoken about. Ended up, they fell in love and they had a child together before she was then locked away again. And that child is the person who is known as Lu, the god Lu. Trying to work out if I want this as the back or the front. Maybe we'll do ripping down both sides. Why not? Then I can make up a mind. Now, because they needed to keep him safe, he couldn't stay with the Tuatha and he couldn't remain with the Fomorians. Balor would have killed him. So instead, he was giving out in fostering. Now, this is not something unique to Ireland. It is something that happened a lot, particularly in Middle Ages and things, where a child would be given to another family to almost to foster allegiance between the families. And so Lu was fostered by the Tuatha sea god, who by this time had also kind of ruled over the other world, which isn't the underworld. They're not confused. It's the other magical worlds like Tir and Og and that. And then his wife, and the god of the sea was her second husband, and her name was oh, hold on, Tailteann. And she has a sort of interesting backstory. We're not going to get into all that. This is not a mythology. This is about Lughnasadh. However, she was Lu's foster mother, and Lu loved her dearly, his foster mother. And it is said that she was skilled in many ways. And this is important because you need to know about Lu. Lu is one of the few gods who he is multi-talented and skilled. I'm not even going to be able to remember everything he's good at, but it is thought one of the myths or stories is that she taught him all these skills. She was a druidess, and she was a healer, and she was good with poetry and all sorts, and it is thought that is why he's multi-talented. And the story is that when he leaves his foster parents, oh yes, I like that, he then goes to the hill, the Mound of Tara, the hill of Tara, where the Tuatha lived. That's where the High King's castle would be. And he knocks on the door, and the story goes that when he knocks on the door, the gatekeeper says, you know, because you have to have a skill to enter. Do I want that as a flip out tag? Because I love this. Also love the tree though. It could just be another complete flip out. Okay, let's do that. To enter, you need to have a skill, a talent. And so Lu knocks on the door and he says, have you got someone who can play the harp? And the gatekeeper's like, yeah, we have someone who can play the harp. And he's like, do you have someone who is a master warrior with the sword or spear? And yep, we have that. Do you have someone who is a healer? Yep, we have that. Do you have someone who's good at poetry? We have that. And he goes through this whole list, and it is a whole list, guys, of his skills. I really like this edge though, but I want the corn. He has this whole list of his skills. And then finally he says to the keeper, well, do you have someone who can do all of those things? And so the keeper goes and speaks to the High King at the time, Nuada, and says, you know, there's this person at the door who reckons they can do all these things. And Lu could. He was not over playing his role as it is. He could do all these things. And so he ends up with the Tuatha. Now, the reason this is important is that we then get to, which way do I want this to open? Him then living with the Tuatha, who are constantly at war at one way or another with the Fomorians and that. So Lu is known as Lu of the long arm because, not because he had freakishly long arms, which could have been a thing, but because he, why is that bigger? Because he was very good with his spear. The spear and slingshot were his weapons of choice. And he was particularly, unless I have it as a pocket, I'm trying to work out if I want to flip out or not. At the back, I want it at the back. That's the thing. I think I do, so we need something along here. That's all right. He was particularly good with a slingshot and a spear. So he was called Lu of the long arm. He had other names as well, but that's the one that really matters. Sorry, for our story. Now, what has all this got to do with Lughnasadh? As I said, Lughnasadh is the first of the autumn harvest festivals, and this is another reason why I often think of Lughnasadh as being the start of autumn. And I've had people say before on my channel, oh, why have you done an autumn journal and August is in there? That's the height of summer. But I think for me, because it is the first harvest festival, I just start thinking of autumn. Plus, I love autumn. So, you know, why not start autumn early? And it's the first harvest festival of the three. We'll be dealing with the other two. And lammas also falls at this time. Now, I'm not going to talk about lammas. I am sure that Tiff has probably mentioned it because she's really good at doing overall correspondences. So do go check her out for that, because I mainly just talk about the Irish side of things. But she's very good at general correspondences. But also, I have spoken about lammas before and John Barleycorn on this channel. I did a whole make last year, which I will link down below, sort of based on the idea of the myth of John Barleycorn that is all linked to lammas and the harvest festival. And this would have been when the first harvest festival was. Now in the UK, in September, our schools hold their harvest festivals. And I was very lucky that the school that my kids attended, well, one of the secondary schools, they understood that Lammas was the older festival before it became known as the Harvest Festival. And they would even speak about it a little bit. But I'm not going to speak about all that. We are talking about Lu. Now, he is multi-talented. And he is considered a sun god. He's linked to the sun. But that's not all he's linked to, guys. As I have said, he is linked to... I want a pocket inside as well. Or do I want a pocket on here? But I don't want to cover that up. Where do I want my pocket? It does become the front and this becomes the back. Maybe. So he is linked to the sun. Do you know what I'm going to do? And he's often depicted as beautiful and tall and blonde and all of these things. And obviously super gifted. So Lughnasadh being a harvest festival, where has it come from? Why is it named after Lu? And this is why his foster parents are an important part of Lu's story. Because... Tailteann, the goddess, who's often overlooked at this time, she basically what she did was so that Ireland could become a place of agriculture. She flattened the land and took down forests to clear it for the people. She was doing a good deed for the people of the land so that they would be able to grow crops. However, by doing this, she exhausted herself, and as she lies dying, one of the myths tells us, now I will just be very clear about this, Irish mythology is an oral tradition like many other ancient cultures, and so there may be 5 different myths for the one story. But the one I am going with, guys, is the fact that as she lay dying, apparently she requested funeral games in her name, or, you know, games in her name. And this she said to Lugh. And when she passed away, Lugh honoured his foster mother and created what became known as the Tailteann, which are named after Tailteann. And imagine Olympic Games sort of thing. Now, these games began as funeral games. Now, again, this is not exclusive to Ireland. Many ancient cultures around the world have done funeral games. So there were several days of funeral games to honour her passing and to honour his foster mother and the gift that she gave to the land, which was agriculture, hence a harvest festival. They couldn't have planted and had harvests without her doing what she did. And so they start off with the funeral games, and then come the actual games. And I am talking about proper, like, warriors would battle and have sword fights, running, chariot games, whatever there was at the time. Horse racing, it would have been then, really. They come and they start having fun and doing all that in honour of her, the Tailteann. Now, these games continued right up. They were held regularly. And the High King of Ireland, whoever that was at the time, would come out and open these games. And originally they would have still started with some funeral games for the first few days. There'd be bonfires lit, you know, giving honour to whoever had passed away, all that kind of thing. Then you would have a couple of days when any new laws and things like that were spoken of. And the kind of, not poets, they had a special name. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. It's Olaf or something, Ola. They would go around and make sure everyone had heard what these games were, what these new laws were. They would have gone around and made sure that everyone knew. I've got all sorts of things we're going to bring on, what they were, so that everyone could kind of want to do a little cluster. We've got some more here, so that everyone knew what was going on. And then the games would commence. These are proper Irish stamps, by the way. And we then have the games. Now, whilst, and so this continued, as I said, until roughly the advent, oh, lovely coloured paper, of the Anglo-Norman invasion in about the 12th century. And from that point on, the games started to die away a little bit. But they carried on going. They really did sort of just become a pale shadow of what they originally were. But even right up until the 18th century, there were some of these things going on. Although by then, with Christianity and things like that, they didn't really hold the funeral rites or anything like that. And they didn't hold a lot of the original games anymore. It was mainly like a market with maybe some fun little games that you could do. And then from about the 18th century, really they stopped happening. And then with the resurgence of Irish nationalism in the 1920s and 30s, they started hosting Tailteann games again at Lughnasadh. And then, I mean, I wanted that and I'm covering it all up, but that's okay. And then they sort of died off again. However, I have looked, guys, and there is some Tailteann games this year. They're holding it in September, but I will leave it linked down below because I've done that with some of the other things so that you can kind of see that these games are still kind of happening and things like this. So yes, now Lughnasadh, being this festival, what it actually refers to is the gathering of Lugh. And that is because obviously these were his games. I thought I had another little thing. These were the games that he started. And so the Gathering of Lugh makes sense because people are obviously coming to the gathering. And so these games have been going on for many, many, many hundreds of years until they died out with the advent of, as I said, more Christianity and Anglo-Norman invasion of Ireland. I love that. That's going to happen. But these games were just fun. Now, how do you celebrate Lughnasadh then? So Lughnasadh is, as I said, the first harvest festival. There was, now you will not be surprised if you've been here any length of time. What am I going to say? The Irish held bonfires. We have a thing for them, guys. We just like a fire. I would like to point out that it is quite cold in Ireland. I have many childhood memories of having to clean out the fireplace with the peat that we used as a child. It was not a fun thing to do, but, you know, it can still be quite cold there in the summer and things. Not quite freezing, but still. So I'm not surprised the Irish like bonfires, but we have them for most of the festivals. So there was bonfires. There are obviously, oh, I do have another one actually. There are obviously games that are held. They would have had feasting and a lot of drinking. I mean, when you think of the harvest, you think of things like mead with honey. You think of barley wine, barley ale, and all that kind of thing. There was a lot of drinking. And I did read, oh gosh, I don't even know where, ages ago. I did read one thing where they said one of the reasons that it kind of died out was because with Christianity and that, they didn't really think that it was safe for all these young men to be quite intoxicated and fighting with swords and things, which, you know, I can get, but still there's all that going on. So good food, bonfires, gathering, a fair, things like that would happen. Bread is a huge part of this festival, so I will get into ways you can celebrate in your own way as well. But yes, we still have the idea of these games with these young warriors and everything. And this was also a time of truce. So you would come to the Tailteann games and there would be a truce across the land with all the different kings and all that kind of thing. And you dare not break it. And so these games became synonymous, and I feel sad about the fact that they were held in honour of this goddess who is often overlooked. This is some vintage book spine, who is often overlooked in the celebration of Lughnasadh, because it's become known as the Gathering of Lugh, and Lugh's the god, and everyone's, you know, it's got his name, and the month has his name too. But he did honour them. They were created for her and her sacrifice. So, you know, there is that. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Lugh. So did Lugh end up killing his grandfather? Was the prophecy fulfilled? Yes, guys. Yes, it was fulfilled. Because at the second battle of Moytura, the Tuatha De Danann and the Fomorians faced off against each other again. And I like the brown, I think. We're bringing in some brown. And maybe some fluff. And as they faced off against each other, now Balor, I haven't told you about him. He was the leader of the Fomorians. He was a huge person and or creature, whichever way you want to look at him, and he had one eye, and this eye was so dangerous that if he looked upon anything, it was immediately destroyed. So there are different myths around Balor. Some say he just kept his eyes shut and only opened it, but the eyelid was so heavy it had to be opened. The other myths are that he had these 7 special blankets over his eye and chains that were held around his eyes. And therefore, when his eyes were to be opened, they would open, I kind of like it there too. They would open these chains and his eye would open up and destroy anything in its sight. Now, this is where Lu, the long arm, comes into play. Because as they are facing off, and by this point the Tuatha De Danann in the Moitora are losing that battle greatly, as they face off, literally, and Balor's like, open my eyelid, and everyone starts to, oh my gosh, no, it's going to destroy everything. Lu is off in the distance, and it depends on the mythology. Mainly people say he used his slingshot, but it could be that he used his spear. But Lu of the long arm flew his weapon of choice and hit Balor, knocking his eye out and facing the other way, and killed off the majority of the Fomorians, which led, I like that there too, which led to the Tuatha De Danann winning Moitora, and Lu at some point actually became High King of the Tuatha De Danann, for he ruled for over 40 years. He is also the father of one of our most famous people, because this person was immortal. He is the father of Cuchulainn, who is linked to the Morrigan, who we will get into later in a different festival. But there are quite a few links. I've got these washi stickers with mushrooms. There are quite a few links between Lu and the Morrigan. Some even suggest that maybe Lu and the Morrigan were very friendly as well. She is often linked to the Dagda, but there are things saying that her and Lu might have been overtly friendly too. But yes, he is the father of one of our most famous people, Cuchulainn. So we have all this. Now let's get on to Lughnasadh and how you can celebrate. There are so many ways to celebrate. Obviously, we're going back to light fire, light bonfires, anything like that if you want to. I've said that for quite a few of the festivals, to light a fire of some sort. And I'm trying to work out, do I want these on in front? 2 of them or behind? We've covered up most of that paper. I know lots of you be like, Belle, you've covered up most of the paper. Don't worry, guys, because I will be bringing that back in. So light fire, have good food and things like that. But let's get down to more specifics. This is a harvest festival, so there are many things you can do. The first thing that I would suggest is make bread. Now, if you are new to making bread, I highly recommend making soda bread, which is one of Ireland's most famous breads. It is so easy to make, guys, because it does not use yeast. So make yourself some soda bread. If you are used to making breads, why not make a bread that you haven't made before, or maybe make a soda bread, a new variety, flavoring and all that kind of thing. That might be a really good thing to do. And then I've got all this too. These are my stickers I showed you the other day. So make some bread. Go to a farmer's market. This is a great time. I'm always encouraging you guys, eat seasonally. That's what I like to try and do. So find some good seasonal vegetables, fruits, whatever it is, and locally, and go and let's have a butterfly because that's nice, and try those out. So yes, make some bread, go to a farmer's market. That's always really good. Learn just a new food recipe. If cooking's not something you do a lot of, or seasonal eating's not something you do a lot of, why not then go and actually make a seasonal recipe? We've actually got a picture of Lou here that I had. It looks quite fierce there. Lou of the long arm. And yes, before I get anything about he's in a kilt, Irish people wear kilts. So it is a thing. We also have kilts. I had to have a kilt as my school uniform. It was not very pretty. It was the most disgusting shade of green. And we had proper kilt pins, guys. Not like today where you can get these things and like, it was a giant kilt pin. It was just a whole thing. It really was. When I was a child, I hated that colour. I love the colour green, but I hated that colour of my kilt and jumper. It was all the same shade. It was just... Anywho, that's got Lou in here. Lou of the long arm. I feel funny cutting his sword off. But also I feel funny putting him across the whole thing. Sorry, Tiff, I'm going to have to cut his sword off. It's a thing. So this hadn't been printed completely perfectly, so it's good for this. So yes, learn to make bread, learn to make a new seasonal recipe. I suggest that all the time anyway. Seasonal eating's good. If you, I don't know, are interested in making wine or making some sort of beer or whatever, or even a non-alcoholic drink, because I don't drink alcohol, this would be a good time to do it. This would also be a good time to maybe make some tea, because the first harvest festival is a great time to start collecting herbs to dry them. Herbs, seeds from your garden, all of that kind of thing. This is a look at him, he looks fierce. Lou of the long arm. This is definitely him going, yeah, Balor, come on, we're gonna go for it. Do. Right, now I also have these. These are actually Ogham Oracle cards that I had. Now this is you, and this is actually linked to Lou, but we're not going to see it if I put it there. I might put it in a pocket. Also had the little acorn one that I thought was quite cute because it's autumn, but that's just not going to work, so we're not going to do that. Do we want some of this behind him? Let's put this behind him. So yes, seasonal eating, guys, is always a great thing. What else can you do? Oh, as Lou played the harp, he was very well known for his music and poetry. Why not write some poetry? Why not have a go? Make it seasonal poetry, maybe. Great time if you play music to maybe learn a new piece. If you don't play music, maybe go and search out some more traditional seasonal folk ballads and things like this. Obviously, being a tradition of stories and myths, and our poets and our storytellers were highly revered in ancient Irish culture, maybe share some stories. They don't have to be of Ireland or the Harvest Festival. Whatever your cultural background is, wherever you are, share some stories. Share some stories. And because Lou started the Tailteann games for his foster mother, maybe this is a great time if you are a parent or a grandparent or an aunt, uncle, whatever you are. Maybe this is a great time to share some family history with the younger people in your family. Do a fun family project, a family tree or something like that. Because family, as we see with Lou, takes on many different kind of varieties. I love autumn. And so why not? Kind of want a Celtic knot too. Yep. I'm going to have that cut in half. Why not do some fun family project, as I said, with the younger members of your family who are just fun to share a little bit about family history. Also, if you don't have younger members, maybe this is a great time to look into maybe some genealogy and things like that you can do, and do some more family kind of stuff. If you are going to farms and things like that, or farmers markets, everything like that, this would also be a really, really good time, guys, to... Let's bring in some flowers. I'm sure he would have put flowers on his foster mother's grave. Let's have those going over. Oh, I love them so much. I need to get more of these. That's what I need to do, because I picked these up from the works, and I am loving using them. What was I saying? Yeah, if you're going to a farmer's market or something, see if you can pick up some straw or wheat, rather, and things like that, because this is a great time to make corn dollies, which are also things that can be protective as well as just pretty. And I also pick up extra, not just for corn dollies, but I pick up extra for... to make sure that I have enough left for Imbolc when I need to make my Bridget's crosses. We definitely want a pocket here. I even have one of my own photographs that I was going to use on here. Let's use it. So yes, pick up some corn or stalks. Where is... Here it is, and things like that, to prepare you for Bridget, as well as making corn dollies. Make corn wreaths. They are pretty too. They were quite traditional. I've heard you can make berry bracelets and things. I've never done that, but that is another thing. And do you know what I was thinking that would be good? Now, this is not something I've necessarily done before, but certainly when I was preparing for this, I was thinking, why did I never do this before? So as the Tailteann games are games of physical games often, why don't you learn a new sport or a new physical activity? So with winter months coming up, we often don't get out and walk enough, especially if we live in areas where it's winter, not the other hemisphere where it will be summer in our winter, and it can be dark and we can get used to staying inside in the warmth. So this is a great time to pick up something new, be it yoga, Tai Chi. I know that's not Irish, but I'm just saying I love Tai Chi as well. Maybe even taking up something like self-defense classes or a martial art, or take up running, just something that you can work at getting better at all the time, and that will carry you through the winter months. So it's working on your health and you're learning that warrior skill, whatever that warrior skill might be for you. So yes, there's all of that you can do. Now, we as a family, one of the things we always did was well, not always, but one of the things we did was we held games, because it is the Tailteann games for Lughnasadh, guys. There are the games. Now, this is just fun things. We were just in our garden usually, and it'd be like lawn darts and, you know, just fun, interesting kind of things, hula hooping, running, bowling, whatever the kids wanted to do. Oh, I want to bring that in. Whatever the kids wanted to do, that is what... I also have this, which is quite beautiful. I don't think you need that. That's what we did as our games, and then you can take that on. They don't have to be physical games, they can also be board games. So as you will know, if you've been here any length of time, me and my family love board games, so it can be a mix of the mind and of the body when you are playing these games. Where did I put it? Yeah, this was always fun for us when our kids were little to do. Why did I even measure it? Because it would have been the thing to do this kind of thing. And the kids always enjoyed it. Sorry, I was just adding a little bit of extra here so I can fit more in the pocket. I've done it really poorly, but it should still work. So yes, get out the games, get out the board games, get out... logic games, card games, whatever it is, get all those kind of things out. And obviously, probably the most obvious thing that you can do is do a little bit of research about harvest festivals in your area, the history in your area, Or if you want to know more about, if I've sparked your interest in learning more about Lugh and the Tuatha De Danann and all that kind of thing, then definitely I'm going to give you these cards, Tiff. Then definitely go, and I want to give you this as well, and I do want to use more of this. Definitely going to go and research a bit more about them. I may be biased, but I think it's quite fascinating. Obviously I'm biased because, you know, I'm Irish. But yeah, you could definitely go and learn more about all of this and the Moitura battles and stuff like that. So that is something you can do as well. There's honestly so many things you can do at the Harvest Festival. This is also the time, if we're going to look at it maybe spiritually or as in mentally, this is also the time. We've planted our seeds at Imbolc. We've watered them by Ostara. We've watched them grow through each of the other festivals, often reflecting on what is working and what is not working. I do kind of want to put I Love Autumn on there just because I really do, but I also want to put Lughnasadh on there. Oh, do you know what I didn't put? I was meant to put, this is actually from a Gaelic, Irish Gaelic book, and it actually has like sheath and scythe and all of that. Right, that's got to go on there somewhere. I might put it down here. And I want to give you the Gaelic of it, so you have to have both. So, yeah. You could then look at, okay, so I planned this. This is one of the things that I wanted to do. This is one of my goals for the year. How has that worked out for me? And what am I grateful for that I can give thanks for? But what really isn't serving me that needs to now be cleared, harvested, and dealt with that way. Oh, I really wanted that on there. I could put it on the back of one of these cards for you. If I do that, if I put it, because then you can have writing space there. If I put it on the back of one of these cards for you, I just want you to have a little bit of the actual language, Tiff. Want to share some of the language. Although I would say find out the pronunciation because they're never as you think of them. So, yes. So think about what is no longer serving you and what you could change up or harvest, what is ready to, what has served you but has now served its purpose. Really take time to look before the winter months come at what also still needs to be finished up. This is your harvest time, so look at your own personal harvest as well if you have done, as I was saying, sort of done all the sort of the planting and the ideas and all that kind of thing. Right, so we've got writing space. I want more flowers. Do you know what? I love them, but also love the mushrooms. But I am loving these, Tiff. So obviously you've got to have more, because how could you not have more? Let's bring in some more of these. Oh, I'm going to go pick more up. I really am. I need another pack of these. Ugh. So yes, so there's lots of activities you can do in this first Harvest Festival. As I said, it's still the summer. It's still time to get out there and enjoy the sun, wander amongst the once you've asked permission, if it's okay, hay bales, all that kind of thing. You could even have a Lughnasadh picnic or a Lughnasadh barbecue and actually pick up some hay bales and things like that so that you can bring it in. I want to write Lughnasadh, so let me get a piece of paper. Okay, so we have the word Lughnasadh. I want that on here. Yeah, it is a time of festival, but the colours are the reds and the golds. And do I want that there or on the back? Let's get some more fabric. Reds and golds and browns and all of that kind of stuff, because it is that time. Obviously, sunflowers, wheat, barley, anything farming related. Scarecrows. Oh, that's another craft you could do. You could make your own scarecrows. And if you do look at the thing that I did, where I did John Barleycorn, that's all to do with scarecrows and things like that. So that would be a good craft to do. It's just a great time, guys. Learn to make some things. This might also be a good time to start thinking about soups. Now, when it comes to the colder months, I make soup every week. Usually on a Monday, Soup Monday, and I try a new soup every single week. We bring back old favourites, but I'll try, you know, we won't have the same soup week on week. And there's lots of soups with barleys and things like that. And this might be a good time to maybe start thinking about what soups you might want to have in the colder months and start collecting them, recipes and ingredients for them. Our family is very much food-based when it comes to our celebrations. But funny enough, the one thing that we always used to kind of have at this time of year was pasta. My children actively remember having very bright pasta with reds and yellow peppers and tomatoes. Like I said this in every festival, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but there might be new people here. Always bring in the colours of the season to your food. Don't just bring in the food itself, bring in those colors, so that you can literally almost be like eating those bright colors that are good for you anyway. You should eat as many different colors of food as you can, just for health benefits. So that's always a good thing to bring in. I was actually going to put real corn on here, and now I'm looking at it and I don't think it's going to happen. I do want to give you a little piece of cross stitch. Let me get some fabric. So I was going to actually add some fabric to this little cross stitch piece, and then I decided not to. I'm going to do something else with it. But what I did do is I made a tag out of some of the scrap paper this can be written on, and I used one of my own personal photographs again, which is of mushrooms, added some fabric to the top. That can go in. Another great thing to do, another great activity, is I love to have seasonal photography and seasonal records of everything that's changing around me. I added this guy who is definitely John Barleycorn with some yellow on the back that you can write on as well, Tiff. But make sure that you are out there actually taking photos of what happens around you. Summer and autumn are a great time to start that. I just want to look for some bits that might work. Oh, this will work well. I like that. Oh, this is beautiful too. These are some of my snippets. I do have videos of me making these. Sunflowers. We need that one. Oh, that's good too. Okay, we've got a few. I don't need to look at anymore. Great time to start taking nature photography, because this is a beautiful time of year, and it would just help you keep a record of what. Oh, doesn't that look beautiful? I was going to put it underneath, but I think on top will work. We could double them up. Have I got a thinner one? I love this sunflower one. I do love the sunflowers, and that would work, but this is so good too. Let's have some texture. Should we use this one? It's a small one. No, we're going to use this one. Yeah, do some nature photography, guys. Go out there and have a look at what is around you and what you might like to take photos of. I say that and look at the sun coming in now. The sun is shining. So I hope that gives you lots and lots of ideas. Go to the woodland for walks and have games. Nick the Booksmith. I kind of wanted to think about this, like courage would be a great one. Reminisce, all those kind of things. Also have some from, I knew I had another sunflower one, because I wanted to bring on another sunflower, but there we go. Could do more I have got more sunflowers and this other little Celtic bit that could go down here with the autumn. And another sunflower. What do we think? Let's do it. I've got it. Why waste it? So I hope anyway that's giving you lots of ideas, as I say in every video, so I apologise for me. Those of you who have watched everyone go, here we go. But I always say, even if you don't celebrate these things, there is always hopefully something you can take that is a fun seasonal activity for you or your family, to just enjoy the season. Just take time to stop and look around you and think about what is happening around you in the earth and around you at this time of year. I think that's always super, super important. I wish I had another orange one, but I don't, so we'll go with the yellow. Yes, sunflowers. Easiest way to celebrate Lughnasadh: make a sunflower wreath or bring in sunflowers into your home. I am already going to start Lughnasadhs when I start decorating for autumn, because as I said, as far as I'm concerned, it is now fully autumn. So yeah, it just is. It's just a thing. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. And yay, because I love autumn. So I think we're kind of finished. Now I will add some either prayers or little bits and bobs and possibly some recipes. I like adding recipes in here. I could even make this an extra pad hanging down. Hold on. Okay, so I made a little scrappy pad and I'm wondering if it would go in the back here. That might be nice. And let's just decorate it up a little bit, because why not? Because, you know, why not? So I've given you lots of things you can do. A little bit of history, Irish mythology again. A little bit about the god Lugh and the Tailteann games. Again, I will leave that linked down below, so you can possibly, if you want to, head over and see, get some more information about them. The ones that are being held this year. And yeah, just I'm glad to see them being brought back. Obviously, as things change, obviously also does certain old traditions, but it is nice to see a lot of these old traditions coming back to Ireland, because they're so a part of our land and our culture. I mean, to have the whole month named after this ancient games, just shows you how important they were to the people of the time. So it is nice to have them brought back and celebrated. But you can hold your own little Tailteann games and have good food, good company, and enjoy the summer, but also the first harvest. Oh my goodness, I really like this, guys. I really, really do. What do you think for Lughnasadh? We've got the colours on there. We've got sunflower and the corn. Obviously, because I'm doing Lughnasadh, we've got about Ireland, some beautiful butterflies, because Lughnasadh is about endings and beginnings, and Lugh is definitely a god of endings and beginnings. You know, the end of the harvest, the end of the agricultural year, the coming into the winter, the end of the summer and the warmer months. And Lugh definitely goes between this world and the other world. So maybe he needs something on here, maybe. And we have our Lugh, and then in here we have a little pocket, one of my photographs, sunflowers everywhere. We have a couple of the Ogham words. This one is you linked with Lugh. We have some English farming words like sheaf, scythe, sickle, garden, all that kind of thing. We have a little bit of John Barleycorn in there for lammas. We have another little tag that can be written on, and then a little notepad. A bit of a simple one, but I really love how that has come together. And the only thing I now need to add are the charms, guys. So let me grab the charms. charms, which are all here. I did want to add one of these, but I don't think I'm going to now. Let's add a good yellow. Yeah, we'll have yellow. We've got to have a harp on there for Lou. I mean, it just has to be. This looks like wheat or sheaf or anything like that to me. And actually, we're also going to have the sunflower, the what I think of as a wheat sheaf, the harp for Lou, and we are going to have the sickle for the reaping. I was also going to add the corn, but I'm not going to add that now because I don't associate corn. Corn for me is much more... I know we have corn in this country, but I think of it as more of a sort of... I want to say American, but that's not what I mean, but something else. So we have our beautiful different pieces. That's really sparkling in this sun. Different charms. We do love to add our charms, don't we, Tiff? And then, yeah, that's it. This is my Lughnasadh tag. You actually got to see me make it all on camera. I hope you like it, Tiff. It's a bit more simple, but there is space to write. That is breaking a little bit. I will add a little bit of washi there. I've got some autumnal washi. Lots of fun little bits in there, lots of charms, and hopefully you guys picked up some fun things to do at this time of year and just enjoyed me chattering on about a bit of Irish mythology. Where's my words? Goddess Tailteann, who was the foster mother, Lugh, the Tailteann games, Lughnasadh, and even a little bit of the Balor the Fomorian in there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it. That's my final. This is the tag made. Only a few more left. Don't forget, continue watching and you'll see me opening Tiff's tag. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So now's the exciting bit. I get to open Tiff's tag to me. Oh my goodness, I always get so excited at this point. And she's put loads of beautiful stickers on here. Can't show you the front just yet. I have cut it open. Are we ready? Oh, let me see. I want to show you some of the stickers on the front without giving away the address. But yeah, she put some beautiful, look at that butterfly one, stickers on there. Look how pretty this is. We've got this beautiful tree. I think I said before, I'm actually keeping all these little wax seals in a little pot to use in future projects. Oh my gosh, this one feels chunky, Tiff. Feels very chunky. Making me very excited. Oh, it's like a present. Oh my goodness me. It's like pass the parcel. Boom, ba-dum. Okay. Oh, is that little rose quartz? Oh, look at that. How cute. Oh, that feels really nice in the hand actually, Tiff. Oh, that does feel really nice. Okay, open tag first. Okay, I will do. I love it. She's always giving me instructions. Okay, okay. Cute napkin, by the way, if I didn't say so already. Okay, okay. Wrapping paper and wrapping paper. Oh my gosh, what is, okay. Trying to work out what everything is. What is, okay, I'm not quite sure. Oh my gosh, it did some stitching. Oh, Tiff, and you know, what do they say? Great minds think alike. So yes, oh, I love that one. I've not seen this charm before. I've always got so much to take in. It's one of those situations where I'm like, oh, I know what that's for. It's to protect the corn. Okay, I'm with you now. Oh, look at the sunflowers and the apples. Lughnasadh, the mushrooms, a little bee. Oh, and the little moon. I've gone quiet because I'm looking at everything, guys. Oh, I love that. So you've done Lughnasadh and lammas. Yep. First harvest. What's here? We've got a little... Oh, there's my bat. If you don't know, this is your first time. Again, there is a playlist. And please do head over to Tiff's channel, which is always linked down below. But because I love bats, she's been adding a bat in some way on all of my tags. My little bat. Okay, what do? Let's take this off and have a look here. Loaf mass, yeah. Oh, love it. Strawberry patches, vegetables, sun-warm berries. Are they not the best? When like your berry bushes are all warmed by the sun and you just wander out there in the morning or an evening and grab a handful. It's the best. Contemplation. Oh, did you draw the bread? Is this what you've drawn? Because that is very good. I love that. Enjoy a book. Yep, I think I will. Oh, a little writing space here. I really like that, actually. Oh, that's really nice. Can't wait to watch your video so I can find out what that is. Okay, what's inside? Got a little pocket here. Love little things like that. Let's have a look. Drinks and preserves. Oh, for writing on. Oh, raspberry jam, Scotch marmalade, lemon curd. I have made all of these in one form or another, but I haven't added Scotch to my or is it just called Scotch marmalade because they're saying it's because it hasn't got actual alcohol in it. Yeah, I love it. Love it. I've only made lemon curd once, I think. Oh, that's so good, and I can write on there. I love it. Okay, and what do we have here? Oh, I see all your stenciling. August, all about Lughnasadh. And obviously lammas. Oh, love this stencil. I'm going to have to see if you say where the stencil's from when I watch your video, because love that. Love the keys as well. Oh, it's so pretty. It has beautiful August vibes. Oh, did you draw the bread? Because I feel like you did, and if you did, it's very, very good. I can't draw, so I'm always impressed, and I think that looks amazing. Okay, now it says open tag first, so now I'm going to open this. I'm going to open it off camera to begin with, or to the side. Ooh, okay, so look at that. Does that not scream harvest? Does that not scream Lughnasadh, August, lammas? Does it not? Beautiful. Okay, and we do have one of the teas, the nighttime berry. Maybe that was what it's from. Okay, it says, hi Belle, Lughnasadh lammas, blessings to you and your family. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, she talks about the mouse trap. I haven't got much to say about this tag. It's pretty self-explanatory. I hope the stick part hasn't disintegrated. It has not. It is perfect. Tried to package it up well enough. Okay. I hope you like the tea. I thought it was quite seasonal. Yes, nighttime berry. It should be. Yeah, chamomile, blackcurrant, and blackberry. Sounds good to me. And I hope you like the stone. I know your birthstone is ruby, but I didn't have any of those, so I thought it was close enough. And I hope it brings you love and peace. Yes. Well, it's weird because my birthstone is ruby, being a July baby, but often it's also moonstone because my astrological sign is linked to the moon. So sometimes they'll say that it's ruby, but also can be moonstone. So, you know, either or. But yes, I love a piece of rose quartz. It's very calming. Really hope you like your tag. No real bells. Bell or whistles. And hopefully you've recognised the hand stitching as a corn dolly. I did. But I wouldn't blame you if you looked at it and said, what's that mess of string? Because it was feeling a bit... No, I did recognise it as the corn dolly. I've made those out of corn. I often put them up, I just said. But, yeah. Anyway, it's such good texture. Excited to see yours. Have a wonderful Lughnasadh lammas, first harvest, bread session, all the things. I can't believe we've only got 3 left. I know, me neither, Tiff. It's gone so quickly. Okay, so yes, that was to protect it. Oh, it's just, the colours are beautiful. The charms tingle. The stitching's really good, and so much texture. It's got so much that I love. It's got apples and sunflowers and mushrooms and butterflies and bees and flowers and corn dollies and a little bat. It's just some of my favourite things. And we're getting into my colour palette now. I mean, the other ones were a bit of a push earlier this year, weren't they, Tiff? Really, they were for my colour palette. But we're getting more into we've gone through the yellows and oranges. We're coming into the reds, into the blacks and the greens, and very much more me. But yes, oh, I love it. And I really do love this charm. I've not seen one like that. I love this little moon. I think I have a couple, but I don't have like a lot of them. So I love getting more. And books. How can you not have books on there, Tiff? I mean, you're no mess around. My little bat, honestly, I love it. I love it, Tiff. Love, 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 love. Thank you so much for another wonderful, wonderful swap. And for my little crystal. It does feel really good. It's got a really good energy. So, yes, that's it for now, guys. You would have seen me make my tag and tell you all about Lughnasadh. And you've now seen Tiff's beautiful tag. Please go over, guys, and watch her videos of her making these tags. You know, she's so lovely and so creative. So please pop over and watch her put this together for me. And yes, I can't believe it. We're now officially into harvest season. 2 more harvests to go. And yes, oh, another great tag. I'm so excited. Can you tell my voice? I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much, Tiff. So that's it for now. Please do like, subscribe, comment and share if you haven't already. And don't forget, like I said, to head over to Tiff's channel, Amethyst Raven, to see what, not only her make this tag, but what other amazing content. You really need to have a look at her Creep on June stuff. And also, don't forget this playlist as well on my channel if you've missed any of those, because I know I've got quite a few new subscribers in the past little while. So just in case you want to check out the rest. So excited. Can't wait for the next one. And until then, guys, I'll be back again soon with another video. But wherever you are in the world, if you celebrate lammas/Lughnasadh, I hope you have a wonderful one. Bright blessings for your celebrations. And if not, I still hope you're having a wonderful day and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.